1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Today we're going to be talking about the film on Netflix called Under Paris. Nicholas Barber from the BBC has recently called this possibly the popcorn movie of the summer so far. Now, what does that say about the movie industry? What does that say about Netflix? What does that say about the state of film today? To me, it says quite a lot, because I thought the film was really, really below par. That's a nice way of saying it. So I kind of disagree with Nicholas Barber. This cannot be the popcorn movie of the summer so far. And if he is saying it tongue-in-cheekly, like there's a lot of garbage out there, then maybe I could understand it. So what have we got here? We have a shark-infested city, which happens to be Paris. What I thought was good about it was some of the set pieces. I think the sharks, while looking totally terrible, really, there were elements of it where special effects looked okay. There was opportunities missed left, right, and center for some really good character development, for some really good story. And then what we ended up with was just something that got really tangled up in fishing nets without sounding too cruel to the film. And what started out to maybe have some sort of environmentalist message to it suddenly gets twisted and turned. Are you supposed to like the shark? Are we supposed to blame humans for doing something to the shark, and therefore the shark becomes a killer? You're really not. It's not a cold-blooded killer. It's kind of weirdly connecting with humans, and then it just goes off on one, and I have no clue what happened in whoever wrote this and what happened in their bedroom when they wrote it, or whether this was an amalgamation of people's ideas. Well, what you've left with is a mess, and I hope that there will never be a sequel for this. What a waste of money. I think there was a lot of elements where you think, okay, they're taking like the worst parts of French and Scandi dramas and crowbarring them in there just to seem a bit like fillers. Like, let's go into the political angle. Let's have a triathlon and see how the shark-infested waters will affect that. And they seem crowbarred in, whereas in a film like Jaws, it all seems to just sort of effortlessly flow into a nice contained piece. This thing was flying out in different areas, and it just seemed like there was no cohesion, no one vision. Another thing that really bothered me is that a lot of the daytime filming was the middle of the day. They didn't film in early mornings or late at night, so you didn't have any of that sort of like lovely magic hour feel to it. It just felt like very almost a bit lazy, in that they just decided to film when the sun was right up in the middle of the sky, and you lose that. You have this kind of weird change between the dark murkiness of being under the Seine river, which I loved, and then you switch to this sort of daylight, which is too much daylight. It doesn't keep the mood. If you remember films like Seven, or even go back to Terminator, James Cameron loves filming in the dark throughout the whole film. Keeps a mood, and this just seems to go from one to another, almost like there was two different crews. And so I'm not going to blame any of the actors. I think everyone had a good time, it looks like, and they did a pretty good job. But overall, this film is really, really bad. And it's not bad because the film is just bad. It's quite bad because this is now one of the most watched films on Netflix. And then what is Netflix trying to do? Is it trying to make movies for the cinema? Is it trying to make movies for TV? Is it trying to be somewhere in between? And do we now have this kind of hybrid where movies, that has given a platform to these kind of movies? And now, if you go back to Terminator, James Cameron, which was 40 years ago, they knew how to make a B movie. This isn't a B movie. This is just garbage, in my opinion. And I think Netflix needs to find its way. And who knows? I think they're lost. I mean, there's a lack of really good content there. If you want good content now, you have to go to Amazon. Then you probably have to pay for it. It's almost like they've said, hey, come join us. We're going to give you lots of good stuff. They gave us good stuff for a while. Now they're just taking it away. So I'm very worried about the situation for streaming services. It doesn't seem to be working. And there seems to be not a revival of the B movie, which could happen, which would be nice. But this to me just seems a bit like a bit rude to sort of put this out there and go, hey guys, this is all we've got for you. So I hope there's more to come from Netflix and other streaming services. Let's give them another chance.